Alright, man, this is another DJ Treylow podcast, bro. For all y'all boys out there missing me last week. Oh, shit, man. Drama, man. You know what I'm saying? I just left the house, you know. The chick and her son was at my house, man. And apparently, they started arguing about some shoes. He gave her some money for some shoes, and she's saying she didn't get the money. I stayed out of it, man, but I remember him giving her some money for some shoes, so that's some crazy shit, man. They got the hollering and talking shit, and he threw some low jabs, man. He threw some low jabs, but I pretty much stayed out of it. It's not my child, so I stay out and let her handle it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do. Sit back and be quiet. You know, you're in a relationship with a woman with other kids that aren't yours. You can't just, you just got to let it play out at first. You know what I'm saying? You know, down the road, after a year or 2 years go by, if they still around, then maybe you can step up and say something. But at first, they ain't going to respect shit you say, and they're both going to turn on you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get involved with it, because they have just, first started coming around. Now, if they've been around for a while, then you have a little, leeway. Because, that you've been paying bills, they've been eating at your house. You know what I'm saying? So you got a little pull. You can say little things. But, a lot of dudes like me and my homeboys, man, we kind of stay out of shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not even worth the effort or the energy. Because who knows if you're going to be with that woman 5-10 years from now. You sat up there and got all stressed out, busted your ass yelling, trying to straighten things out, getting in a big old fight and argument with her and her kids, this and that. Then, 3 or 4 years from now, you're not even with that chick. And you're like looking back on life like, what the fuck was I doing then? You know what I'm saying? I busted my ass doing all this shit for this chick. And she wound up breaking up with me, or I broke up with her, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you don't want to do that shit. Stress yourself out. Pretty much, I get older, man. The only thing I concentrate on is not stressing myself out. Because, my day go by faster. Get to chill more. Get to relax. To enjoy my life if I'm not stressing myself out. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep my emotions under tact. You know what I'm saying? Try to keep them calm. If certain things bother me, I tend to avoid them. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I was all about the drama. I wanted to fight. I wanted to talk shit. I wanted to get people pissed off. Alright, man, local news, man. San Antonio, man. Everybody been talking about this damn San Antonio shit. It's all on the news and shit. Here's my 2 cents about this. What happened, first of all, this is the facts. You had 2 guys run into, I think it was a Dale's or a Zales jewelry store or whatever. They're gonna boost the joint. You know what I'm saying? They go rob the joint. So basically, they go into the mall to rob the jewelry store. They go in there loaded down, of course, arms strapped up, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because, ain't nobody going to take you seriously robbing a jewelry store without no pistols. Anyways, they go to rob the store, and I guess while they're getting away, some, I forgot the exact details. I'm driving right now, but some bystander who had a license to conceal weapon, said he was going to be a hero and stop the robbery. So he wound up shooting one of the dudes who was running out the store. And the other dude who didn't get shot went on a rampage, man. He started blasting everybody. Shot like 6 people in the mall and all this and that. Was running out, blasting, shooting people. I think one got killed. I'm not sure if one of the persons he shot got killed. But bottom line, the moral of the story is, first of all, it wasn't a terrorist attack. Some people thought it was a terrorist attack. Somebody went in the mall and started shooting everybody. No, it was not a terrorist attack. It was a robbery gone wrong. Number 2, don't try to be a hero. See what the dude did? Somebody wound up died 6 people got shot because he wanted to be a hero and save the day with this little pistol. You know, he gets a concealed weapons license. Starts talking about, man, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, he starts getting amped up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Full of himself. You know, whenever you walk around with a pistol, I'm going to tell you this off top, man. You have a different mentality where you feel like you ready to use it, or you ready for somebody to fuck with you so you can blow the fucking head off. You know what I'm saying? Or you can show how tough you are. You feel empowered, basically what I'm saying. That's why police are like they are. They fucked up because they walk around with pistols and they feel empowered. They're better than everybody else. So not everybody. It's not good for everybody to have a gun and be walking around this bitch. I can see why. There's a lot of scary motherfuckers, man. You know, walking around, you know, got the ass whooped or something, or got a pistol stuck in their face and shit in their pants. Then they want to go carry a gun and walk around with some motherfucker, man. Whatever reason they got. I look at it this way, man. In reality, bro. In reality, this is real shit. You know, you can talk all that tough shit you want and you can carry you a pistol, but in reality, when shit really happens, you're not in those kind of situations on a day-to-day basis. You're not dealing with shooting somebody or busting your gun at somebody every single day. So in reality, when those situations actually occur, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be skitsy. You might not even aim the trigger right. I mean, aim the pistol right at whoever you're shooting at. Anything could happen. Accident could happen. You could fire the gun off, hit him in the shoulder. He could fire back, shoot you in your head. You know what I'm saying? Or you could fire off and hit some bystander and not even know who the fuck you shot. Or you could shoot yourself, pulling your gun out your out your pants. So nervous and ready to kill somebody, blow yourself in the leg. The thing is, it's not executed the correct way, the professional way. Because I don't care how much training you got, how much classes you take, when the real shit pops off, man, it's really a bottom line. It's a line of fate. It's not a skill. It's fate. You know what I'm saying? Fate means if it's meant for you to go at that time, you gonna go. If it's meant for you to live and kill somebody, you gonna do that. You don't have control of that situation because you don't do those kind of situations on a daily basis. Basically what I'm saying. Let's get a little air in here. I'm getting a little stuffed up. So, everybody for San Antonio, 6 people got shot. I don't know if all 6 of them lived or not. I know 6 people got shot. 1 got killed. 1 got shot during the robbery and 1 got away. That's local news. You know what I'm saying? Hip-hop news. Let's see here real quick, man. Since I'm pulled over for a second, let's look at this hip-hop news. See what's going on in hip-hop real quick, man. Y'all stay with me for a second. You know, there's been a lot of bullshit albums coming out. Well, not bullshit. I'm just saying not my preference. You know, this is 2017. I read about, you know, Drake and DJ Crazy Tunes died at the stage from 45 from a heart attack. I read about that on the last podcast. So really, I ain't seeing too many new events in hip-hop. January 20th, Prodigy released Allegiant Dialect, the Book of Revelations. So Prodigy, you know, I read his autobiography a while back. It's pretty good stuff, man. Prodigy, man, I'm gonna tell you something from the autobiography, man. This is another thing, man. Like his family was already in kind of like show business. His grandma ran a dance studio where all these famous people came through. So she had the connection to the music industry. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of, you know, he can talk that gangster shit, and he might be gangster. I don't know. But I'm saying the fact of the matter is, he had hip-hop handed to him on a silver platter. You know what I'm saying? He had the connection to get in there. He had the plug already in place to where he could get in the industry. The only two ways you're going to get in is if you know somebody who's going to be your plug, who's going to put you in, family or some close friends, or you go where hip-hop is done, where it's made, and you show them the hardest dedication you can to get in the industry. And even if you do that, there's no guarantee if you don't have the right skill set. But sitting up here, sitting up here staying at your hometown doing little local shows, that ain't gonna get you shit, man. That's not gonna get you shit. You gotta move. If you don't have a connection, you gotta move to where the people that are really doing stuff like Atlanta, New York, LA, you know, some of these bigger cities where they actually like really, really support hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I like to go online with hip hop and look at people's net worth. I did that last week. Tells you a lot about these rappers and if they're, you know, managing their money correctly. I seen Paul Wall's net worth was around 12 million. Devin the Dude's net worth was around 3 million. But what really threw me for a loop was Scarface's net worth was around $100,000. And I'm thinking, damn, Scarface put out like 20 albums. He's one of the best rappers from the South, rap a lot, Ghetto Boys. And he's only worth $100,000. I said, this can't be right, man. But I know he's had some problems with some child support people lately. And he actually got sent to prison or some shit for child support. So there's some bullshit going on with him. Maybe that chick took all his money or something. Paul Wall, man, he got busted with some pounds, bro. With some controlled substance. So he's fighting that case. Hopefully he gets off. You know, if you got 12 million, he can get him a damn good lawyer. You know, but net worth is, when you get rich, you know, net worth is, you know, the sum of your investments. It's not just cash that you have on hand. You know, you put all your investments into certain bonds and stocks and build up your net worth. And, you know, pretty much if you make, you know, a certain amount of millions of dollars, you can pretty much live off of, you know, mutual funds, bonds, and stocks and not even touch the money. So it's kind of cool. All right, man, this is it for the DJ Treylow podcast, man. Check me out. I'm going to be back on here. This is Tuesday, January 23rd or 22nd. I think it's 23rd, 2017. I'm going to upload this podcast a little bit later on today. So y'all tune in. I'll start putting my podcast on YouTube to get more recognition. If you have an Apple phone, it's DJ Treylow Podcast. Just look it up on Apple phone on your podcast section. As far as sports go, man, Atlanta beat the Packers and Patriots beat the Steelers. So it's going to be Atlanta and Patriots in the Super Bowl. Funny thing is, like last week when I seen Atlanta play Seahawks, I was like, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl just because of the energy in that dome. I was like, that crowd was intense. I always said the Patriots are gonna go because, you know, Brady's on a rampage right now. He's pissed off because they try to take it away, you know, try to say he's a cheater just because he didn't want to give him a cell phone or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's a little pissed off about it. All right, man, that's it for news. San Antonio stuff, hip-hop news, and what's it called? Sports news. I want to do one more thing, which was a special topic. I already did kind of a special topic when it comes to women and arguing with their kids at the beginning of this podcast. This one is another special topic that I was thinking about yesterday. And it has to do with people, messy people, people that like to gossip, people that like to be in other people's business, stuff like that. Okay, there's two ways to inflict pain to enjoy somebody's suffering. Is basically like, say you hit somebody, you're a mean person, you hit somebody in the head with a baseball bat, man. And you laugh at the shit. You actually feel good about hitting them in the head with the baseball bat. It actually gives you some kind of power. It makes you feel like powerful. It makes you feel like, I'm better than this motherfucker. I busted his head open. You know what I'm saying? Now that's called pulling energy from physical suffering of another person. The funny thing is, a lot of these people walk around here and don't understand that there are people out here that do the same thing as busting somebody in the head with a baseball bat, but it's through mental suffering. Say, for instance, you're dealing with a situation, bad situation. And you don't really want to talk about it because it's going to open up a mental scar. It's going to upset you. And you have somebody you barely know, you barely talk to. They're not even really in your life like that. But it's like they're vampires. They come over and ask you questions about that situation because they heard about it from somebody else. And they sit up there and look at you when you're explaining the situation. And they try to act like they feel sorry for you. Like, oh, man, that's messed up. That's messed up. But what they're really doing is feeding off your mental suffering. Just like somebody who comes up and hits you in the head with a baseball bat would feed off your physical suffering. Because you got to really sit back and think about, is this person even a part of my life? My personal life? Do I see them on a personal level? Do I see them every day? Do I interact with them? Are they my family, my friend, my close friend? If they're not, here's how I can show you a little trick on how to point these people out. This is a very simple trick. You listen to this podcast, listen to this trick. Whenever people always want to be in your business, ask you personal questions about stuff that you're, still dealing with, this painful situation, flip the script on them and ask them about their family or what's going on with them. I notice with those types of people, they never want to talk about their personal life because that's not their agenda. Their agenda is to feed off of your mental suffering. Basically what I'm saying. Make you feel low where they feel empowered. So if you sit up there and flip the script on them, they say, well, how about, how you still with that girl, blah, 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 and you just broke up with her and they know it and they just want to sit up there and, I'm gonna feed off of this and I'm gonna feel empowered. Flip the script on them and say something like, oh, so you still with your girlfriend, or what's going on with your kids? Something that's touchy to them, and see if they want to talk about it. That will ward them off. Basically, they'll leave you alone and walk away. And then on top of it, you'll know what kind of person you're dealing with. And you'll know how to interact with that person later on. So, if you take my 2 cents for today, listening to this podcast, I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Hope y'all had a good time listening to me, ramble on for a little bit. And I'll talk to y'all later. It's DJ Treylow. I'm out.